Tonight at 9, Ball State's theater department had a surprise visit from a Hollywood star.
And Muncie community organizations have received a large grant. See what they're doing with the money.
Plus, one shop in the village celebrated a milestone. Find out what the milestone was all about.
And finally, the fate of TikTok has been decided. See what the future has in hold for them.
And we've got summer-like warmth this week. I'll have the details. NewsLink Indiana starts right now.
Local news about local people, live from Ball State Unified Media. You're watching NewsLink Indiana.
Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Abby Urban.
And I'm Josh Gabbard.
Life on campus today was exciting and chaotic with a special visit from a household name.
That's right, Abby. Groups of students left their class just to catch a glimpse or a picture with them. NewsLink Indiana's Ava Linz is in Letterman Lobby with more details.
Thank you, Josh and Abby. I'm currently here at the Letterman Lobby where we have video footage of Hugh Jackman and President Mearns walking through campus. In the video, you can see students coming in and trying to say hello to him, also getting pictures with him as well. Professors went as far as to go ahead and cancel some classes to give those students an opportunity to go see him as well. We do know that he did talk to a class today, and he also held an event at Sursa for exclusively theater majors as well. His professional connection to Ball State is through Sutton Foster, who is also a professional professor here as well, and also for a professional liaison for the Ball State Theater and Dance Department as well. There are also reports of Hugh Jackman and Sutton Foster dating as well. The Ball State Theater Dance Department are also looking for a professional liaison for the Arts Bachelor and Fine Arts as well. Back to you guys at the studio.
Thank you so much, Ava. Many details are unknown as Jackman's team and Ball State administration are keeping things under wraps.
More than $215,000 in grants have been awarded to community organizations in Muncie, each aimed at serving the public. NewsLink Indiana's Jack Wolf talks to multiple organizations about how their new funding helps serve their community.
The Muncie Delaware County Senior Center serves hundreds of individuals each month by offering a variety of events. Executive Director Julie Mears shared how their grant supports the center and its visitors.
So the funding that we have received helps us with general operating expenses, which allows us to not just keep the building open, but allows us to create new programs, to everything from buy toilet paper to keeping the lights on.
The Senior Center hosts games, dances, and the Veterans Coffee Club, which draws as many as 90 guests. A full schedule can be found at muncieseniorcenter.com. Muncie Mission serves those in need with meals, shelter, clothing, and even a medical clinic, which just received $27,000 in funding. Vice President of Community Engagement Lee Edwards discussed the impact of the grant support.
We work very hard here at the Mission to make sure that there's never a barrier to health care, and out of that came the medical clinic. Individuals without insurance or with insurance that has high deductibles, those people are now able to come here, and we don't bill insurance, so it's completely free. And this grant has allowed us to be able to offer that option.
More information on the clinic can be found at munciemission.org. Community grants also support education, with College Mentors for Kids receiving $13,000 to pair Ball State students with elementary schoolers. Development Associate Emily Meyer said their goal is to serve 90 children this year, adding, "This grant really aids us in serving more elementary school students. From seniors to students, these grants highlight a continued investment in Muncie's community." In Muncie, Jack Wolf, NewsLink Indiana.
To become a mentor with College Mentors for Kids, visit collegementors.org.
With thrifting and vintage becoming more popular, one store in the village is catering their vinyl collection to the local community. NewsLink Indiana's Aiden Murray spoke with Locked Groove Records to see how they celebrated their 3-year anniversary.
Music. It moves our hearts and bodies, and at Locked Groove Records, music is making its move in the community. Located just off of Ball State's campus, the little shop has been under new ownership for the past 3 years. Celeste Outen and Kevin Pickerel were encouraged by the previous owner to take new ownership back in 2022, after he made his choice to step away from the business after 16 years. Ever since then, Outen and Pickerel have made reimagining the store into a labor of love.
We've done a lot of painting inside and out. We've recently planted a bunch of trees, got rid of some weeds. We've planted flowers all the way around the store. I just built a stage, and we're here today to host a show.
To celebrate the work that has gone into the shop, Locked Groove was throwing an all-day music fest, which would feature local bands and refreshments from the Elm Street Brewing Company. The celebration was held to commemorate the new life that was breathed into the shop, but not everything went according to plans.
There's always going to be an issue hosting a show. It's a lot that goes into it, a lot of moving parts. One thing about this is we've had multiple in-store shows that have been really successful. Today, our intention was to kind of move it outside so we can provide more space for people to be here.
Even though the weather put a stop to the outdoor performances, Locked Groove wasn't going to let it rain on their parade. The performances were moved inside, bands and fans still showed up for a supportive turnout, packing tightly into the little shop and rocking out.
I want this to be a place that kind of cultivates community, that does cultivate community, a place that people can find themselves. We built this stage so we can kind of have local musicians have a space to perform during daylight hours.
So whether you're a smooth jazz lover, a country-loving cowboy, or a real punk rock hero, Locked Groove Records has something that lots of people come to listen to, with their new owners hoping to stick around after the construction in the village is done and offer a groovy listening experience to the community. Outen and Pickerel plan to try throwing another all-day music festival again in October. In Muncie, Aiden Murray, NewsLink, Indiana.
More information about the store hours and their events can be found on their Facebook or Instagram at Locked Groove Records. You know, Josh, it was a little hot today, not gonna lie.
A lot warmer today than it had been in the last 2 weeks. I've gotten used to the jeans and a t-shirt, and I would have died today in jeans and a t-shirt.
Honestly, me too. Now we're gonna look over that weather with Noah.
Yeah, guys, I really wish I had better news, but it's really only going to heat up from here, especially into this week. Saturday, really the one outlier. We had rain, but for the rest of the week, it's looking quite dry and quite clear. Even clear outside right now at Cooper Science. Not a cloud in the sky across Muncie and Ball State's campus right now, and it's really going to stay that way over the next 5 or 6 days through the work week. We're tracking some summer warmth here late in September, continued dryness and a threat for drought, and some abundant sunshine through the middle of the week. I'll have all this and more in my full forecast later in the show.
Thank you, Noah. And taking a look at the latest out of D.C., Trump administration officials say an agreement has been reached with China. This deal would keep TikTok operational in the United States. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said a framework deal has been reached, and President Trump will meet with Chinese leader Xi Jinping Friday to finalize it. Bessent said the priority has been making sure the deal is fair for the Chinese and completely respects U.S. national security concerns. A bipartisan bill signed by former President Joe Biden last year banned TikTok in the U.S. unless its China-based owner, ByteDance, divested its stake in the U.S. assets of the social media company. However, President Trump put enforcement of the ban on hold several times.
Coming up, Donald Trump is threatening another national emergency. What this means for the country.
And finding better paying jobs might be harder than you think. Find out how scams are affecting workers. Stay with us.
Everyone has a ritual, that small thing to keep us focused.
A habit we never skip, to clear our minds and elevate our performance.
But what do you do to keep your head in the game? To drown out the self-doubt and support your mental health. Because being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mental health. Discover the resources that you need to keep your mind focused and your mental health a priority.
Julie was always a voracious reader. She'd carry 2 novels on an airplane because she'd read one on a 3-4 hour ride. And at some point, I began to notice that she would read a page and couldn't remember what she had just read, and she'd have to go back and read it again.
I don't remember much these days after I read, but less does for me and I love it.
Whether it's our stories, the warmth of our laugh, or our family's secret sauce, we all bring something different to the table. So make some space. The power of connection is waiting right outside your comfort zone. Learn how you can help strengthen your community at belongingbeginswithus.org/teamup.
Welcome back. President Donald Trump says he will call a national emergency once again in Washington, D.C. if local police do not cooperate with immigration enforcement. The president's comments come after the national emergency and federal takeover he declared in August expired last week. D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser had issued an order at the beginning of September requiring the city to cooperate with federal law enforcement indefinitely, while clarifying that D.C. did not need a federal emergency. But the mayor's order did not mention immigration and customs enforcement. President Trump wrote on social media, quote, "If I allowed this to happen, crime would come roaring back." And, quote, "I won't allow this to happen. I'll call a national emergency and federalize if necessary," end quote.
In today's shaky economy and labor market, people may be trying to find ways to earn an extra buck or even land a new, better-paying job. And that's where the concern rises, because according to data from the Federal Trade Commission, job and employment scams are on the rise this year.
Text messages are the #1 method of contact for all fraud reports, according to the Federal Trade Commission. Michael Yoshida talks about the rising number of these messages and how one particular scam is growing, worrying for experts given the state of the economy.
In the first half of 2025, the Federal Trade Commission's data shows more than 235,000 text message scams were reported in the U.S., resulting in $342 million in losses.
It's not hard to look down at your phone when you get a ding of a text message, and scammers bet on that.
Among the many types of these scams, fake job or employment texts.
It might sound really interesting, a great opportunity. They will say things like they're a recruiter from a well-known company.
In Q1 of this year, the FTC says there were about 29,000 reports of job or employment text scams, and it's on the rise. And with an economy where more people may be looking for a side hustle to earn extra cash or even a new job, it can be tempting to reply.
But there's always going to be this ask that you reply with personal information or financial information to pay you. What the scammer really wants is to steal your money or your identity. So just make sure you're not clicking those links and not responding to those text messages.
Other things to remember if you get a suspicious text. Take a pause. You may want to rush to respond so you don't miss the opportunity, but relax. Is it too good to be true? Maybe even show it to a friend and get their opinion. Research the number, have others reported it. Also, see if the company exists and is actually hiring. And if you decide it's a scam, report it.
Along with clicking the Report as Scam option on your phone, you can also go to ftc.gov and click the Report Fraud tab to file a report.
And we've got our first shot at 90 degrees in almost a month this week. All of the details coming up after the break.
After his wife passed, my neighbor Larry started drinking a lot. He was in distress and acting out. He had guns around, and I didn't want anything bad to happen. I pressed pause. Our local authorities filed a firearm restraining order to temporarily remove the guns. It gave Larry the time he needed to get help. It wasn't easy, but we got through it together. Learn more at illinois.gov/pause to heal.
Did you hear?
Todd's in the hospital.
Who's Todd? He got a collapsed lung from vaping. He thought it was cool.
Not cool.
Promise you won't vape, Emma. It can lead to a lifelong addiction, and we can't be friends if your lungs collapse.
Bogus.
Wacky sitcom teens aren't the best people to talk to your kid about vaping.
Hey, you got a minute?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
Be right there. Wait. Use the shovel and bucket of water, remember? Drown, stir, drown, feel. Then make sure it's cool.
Where'd you learn that?
SmokeyBear.com. Brushed up on some tips before we left. Don't want to start a wildfire, right?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back. The time is 9:15, and we're taking a look at the Innovation Center. You know, Josh, it's looking really pretty outside today. I'm excited.
Sun was out, but definitely grass dying and all of the heat and everything that we've been seeing. It's just getting way too hot for my liking.
I don't know, Noah. I can't do any more heat, dude. I can't.
Yeah, I really wish I had better news for you guys, but honestly, like I mentioned earlier, it's going to be hot this week. It's going to feel like summer, even though we thought we were past all that summer weather. It really was like fall outside for quite a lot of September, but right now, still pretty warm out there. 73 in Muncie, 69 in Hartford City. We're cooling down quite a bit tonight, and with those clear skies, we're going to cool down to a temperature in the upper 50s, 57 with mostly clear skies tonight. That east wind at about 5 miles an hour, keeping us pretty mild out there. Tomorrow, though, more sunshine and more heat. Every day we're going to go about a degree or two above what we have been over the past day here. 58 at your 8 a.m. classes, 81 by the time you're headed out to lunch, and then 86 at 5 p.m. Those clouds are going to move in, but it's really not going to provide us much shade in terms of the heat and humidity here. And this is all due to what we call an omega block. And what that is basically a fancy term that we have said for the way that the jet stream is moving through the lower 48 United States. We are stuck in this pattern right now that is bringing us dry, warm weather, and even a lot of heat. Meanwhile, you see these two cool patterns where these troughiness exists, where we're seeing this cooler and this more unsettled, rainier pattern. And what these patterns tend to do is they stick around for a week or 10 days and bring us warmth, especially in this case. And it has felt very, very warm, especially across east central Indiana. You see on our upper air map those colder areas over the Dakotas and Montana and along the Carolinas, like I mentioned. We're kind of just stuck in the middle here. We're going to get heat. It's not going to be a really muggy heat per se, but it's going to be dry, and it's really going to exacerbate the drought and the dryness conditions we continue to see across east central Indiana, even as we go into the weekend. Like I mentioned, drought monitor, we're not in that moderate drought just yet here, but if you head up towards Fort Wayne and especially down along the I-70 corridor in that moderate drought, and I would not be shocked to see that moderate drought get expanded when the drought monitor does update here on Thursday. Maybe see some more moderate drought conditions exist into our area. But if there's one caveat, is we're typically towards the end of our summer-like heat here in east central Indiana. Typically our last 90-degree day is about the second or third week of September. Last year it was the 21st. We're already to the 15th, so maybe hopefully this is our last chance at 90 degrees as we head into this week. But like I mentioned, it's pretty dry out there, and while we don't have any burn bans in our neck of the woods, we still do see a lot of those burn bans, especially where that drought is intensified across southern and southeastern Indiana. So if you have any of those open flames, any sort of campfire, anything like that this week, you want to make sure and have that under control, because those fires are going to spread with the dry soil and the dry grass we've seen across our region. But like I said, it's going to feel like summer this week, and we may see our first 90-degree temperature in almost a month here. 86 both Tuesday and Wednesday, 87 on Thursday, 90 on Friday here, and then into the weekend we start to see a little bit of a pattern shift. 86 on Saturday, 82 on Sunday, 81 into Monday. Those rain chances finally return. We need that rain pretty badly here, but honestly guys, I think we're all just done with the sort of summer-like heat. You know, we had those 2 weeks there below average. It felt awesome, and now I'm like, hey, what's happening, guys? You know,
90 is not going to be fun.
Yeah, I got really used to that false fall.
Yeah.
Yes, and now we're in second summer, unfortunately. It's like we have 12 seasons, you know, it's Indiana.
Well, looking forward to it anyway. Well, thank you so much, Noah. There's lots more to get to on NewsLink Indiana. Gracie Drake has a preview of your sports.
Thanks, Abby and Josh. 2 Indiana football teams get exciting wins and 2 up-and-coming stars steal the spotlight. All this and more next in sports.
Everyone has a ritual. That small thing we do to keep us focused.
But what do you do to keep your head in the game?
To drown out the self-doubt and support your mental health.
Because being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mind and mental health.
Find the resources you need to keep your mental health a priority.
Love your mind.
Here's the deal. We gotta set ourselves up. See, retirement is the long game. We can't play about our future or our finances. Make moves, set up goals. Don't worry about a setback. Just save up, stack up to reach them. Let's put ourselves in the right position. Pre-game to greater things. This is pre-tirement.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
You gotta stop with that depressing stuff.
You all right?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way. My kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Gracie Drake with sports. Ball State football captured their first win of the season on Saturday against New Hampshire. The Cardinals won 34-29 in a close contest after being led by junior running back Quay Ashley. Ashley boasted a dominant game on the ground with 154 yards on 12 carries and 2 touchdowns on the ground. The junior also notched 33 yards through the air and on 1 touchdown.
Like I said, shout out to the O-line for doing their job. I mean, I just had to do what I do, what I came here to do, what Coach U recruited me to do, and I showed that today.
Ashley's performance was complemented by the performance of quarterback Kyle Kelly, who aided the Cards with 206 scrimmage yards and 3 total touchdowns. The Cards look to continue their success on Saturday when they travel to face the Yukon Huskies. Keeping it on the gridiron, the Indianapolis Colts have started the season on a roll. After easily taking care of the Dolphins in Week 1, a tougher test faced them in the form of the Denver Broncos. The Colts would score points on their first 3 drives and are yet to punt through the first 2 weeks. However, Indy would find themselves in a 2-point hole with 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Second-year kicker Steven Schrader would miss a 60-yard field goal attempt for the win as time expired, but the Broncos would be flagged for a rare leverage call, which carries with it a 15-yard penalty. Schrader would step up and bury his second chance from 45 yards out to hand the Colts their first 2-0 since 2009. Entering the ring, British boxer and former world champion Ricky Hatton has died at the age of 46, according to Media News reports. Hatton, who was nicknamed the Hitman, won world titles in both light welterweight and welterweight classes. During his career, Hatton fought the likes of Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Manny Pacquiao. Remarkably, until his loss to Mayweather in 2007, the Hitman had a record of 43 victories and no defeats. Hatton retired in 2012 with a record of 45 wins and 3 losses. Moving things to the ballpark, a former Ball State Cardinal made his splash in the first big week at bat. Houston Astros rookie Zach Cole launched a 423-foot home run on the very first pitch of his MLB career. Cole, who was drafted out of Ball State in the 10th round of the 2022 draft, was called up after phenomenal play in the AAA. The rookie would continue his hot start for Houston, posting 3 for 4 tonight and tallying 4 RBIs. Running to the track, a Texas teenager has become the youngest person to ever make the U.S. team for the World Athletics Championships. 16-year-old Cooper Littgenhaus will be one of 2,200 elite track and field athletes. The competition switch started Saturday in Tokyo, ahead of the U.S. National Championships, where athletes were competing for a spot on the team. His goal was just to make the final, but he ended up winning silver in the 800 meters, qualifying him for the competition. Littgenhaus will star in his first heat tomorrow at 6:35 p.m. I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty happy our Cards won on Saturday.
First home game, and we're back.
First home game, 1 and 2. We'll forget about the first 2. No big deal.
No big deal. It's fine.
No big
It's
deal.
fine.
We'll forget about it.
Good weather. It was hot, but it rained, so I felt a little better.
It did
about
rain.
that.
It was a little humid, but it was a nice little cool off, I think.
Definitely. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much. Coming up, Diana Perez has your campus coverage.
And we have one final look at your weather next.
My son, Ricky, took his life by the use of a firearm. It broke me in ways that I never knew that I could be broken. And I contemplated suicide. I still own my firearm. I keep it in a safe because I want to keep my grandson and myself safe. Store your gun securely, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo.
Mom was always organized, but she started forgetting to pay her bills on time.
And she'd buy the same gifts over and over.
Telling the girls about my Alzheimer's diagnosis was really hard.
At first we had our cries, but then we were like, okay, let's make a plan.
Early detection gave us time to adapt together.
It's so important for you to think about what you can do and making the most of what you have.
If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut. The one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink. Or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking. Now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back. My name is Diana Perez, and this is your campus coverage. On Saturday, fans filled the stands at Schumann Stadium, not only to watch football, but to see cadets get sworn into the military. I went to the event to learn more about the significance of the ceremony. At the first home football game of the season, a contracting ceremony took place during halftime to celebrate the ROTC cadets who have shown their dedication to the military in front of their community.
Their personal commitment that they're going to complete the ROTC curriculum, go through the commissioning process, and ultimately become a lieutenant in the United States Army.
The ROTC, Reserve Officers Training Corps, is a program that Ball State offers that trains college students to become officers in the U.S. military. The program stretches over 4 years and is comprised of physical conditioning as well as military science classes that prepare cadets for their future service. Skills such as leadership, discipline, and teamwork are some of the few core learning areas that the ROTC implements within their future officers.
So far, I've only been here for about a month, but it has changed a lot. It's helped me physically, mentally. It's kind of helped strengthen my daily routine, helped me meet so many new amazing leaders.
After meeting academic requirements, receiving recommendations, and passing the Army fitness test, cadets can become eligible to contract into the U.S. military, where they will then be required to serve for a set number of years after earning a bachelor's degree.
So I spent 6 years in the military beforehand. During my time there, I realized I want to make a career out of it. Ball State gave me the opportunity to come back near my hometown.
As well as helping pay for college, the ROTC gives cadets the option to choose between active duty, National Guard, or reserves, allowing them to have more flexibility when it comes to their military and civilian lives. In Muncie, Diana Perez, NewsLink, Indiana. 12 cadets were sworn into the ceremony. The next ceremony will take place at next year's Family Weekend. To learn more about Ball State's ROTC program, visit bsu.edu and go to the military science page.
Thank you so much, Diana. What a cool event. We got one more final look at your weather with Noah.
Yeah, guys, and it's really been a really warm start to the week, especially, and it's only going to continue that way. 86 both on Tuesday and Wednesday, 87 on Thursday. Temperatures running 5 to 10 degrees above average for what we should see this time of year, especially as we head later into September. So, like I mentioned, guys, second summer is in full swing across the region, and it really doesn't look like the heat is going to break until this weekend. So, buckle in, folks.
We're definitely going to buckle up for that one. Thank you so much, Noah. That's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to tune in tomorrow night at 9, streaming live on the NewsLink Indiana Facebook page, YouTube channel, and WCRD 91.3.
And for news anytime, anywhere, just go to ballstatedaily.com. Have a great night and stay safe.